Is the Lumix S9 the perfect slice of life camera? We'll talk about it in today's ramble, so let's play the highlight reel and get into it.
I love you.
So over the past 8 months, I have used the Lumix S9 almost every day. That is not an exaggeration. The shutter count is already in the thousands and thousands of photos, and I have loved using this camera, generally speaking, over the past 8 months. I have captured a lot of photos that I look at every single day of my dogs, of where I grew up when I visited my family for my parents' 50th wedding anniversary, on vacations I've taken it with, to cities I've gone to. I have had this camera paired with the Panasonic 26mm f8 lens, and that combo is really compact and easy to take with me everywhere. When it comes to an everyday camera, slice of life cam, you want something that is portable, that you can take with you, that fits in my pocket. I've literally had this camera in these pants pockets in the front here. It's a little bit tight, but it works, it fits. It fits in my sling that I take everywhere with me. I'll have my Lumix S9, my doodle book, sketchbook, whatever you want to call it, some pens and some pencils, and then, water, other daily essentials, my wallet. So it goes with me everywhere. It's on my desk when I'm working. It's in my car when I'm driving. It's been everywhere with me. And that's great when it comes to an everyday camera. The best camera, right, is one that you have with you. And this is full frame, but compact enough that it's easy to transport, easy to carry, especially with that fixed lens. I know that lens is manual focused. I know it's stuck at f8. I just love the quirks about it. I love how it's a little bit soft. I love that lens. I did a whole video on how much I love it. You can watch it after this ramble if you want to. Yeah, like, subscribe, all that jazz. You can see we're really high production quality here. I love my kitchen spatula for my mic holder. Number 2, other reasons why I think it is a great everyday camera is the LUTs. So I came from Fuji, and I love the Fuji film sims. It is nice to have high quality JPEGs when I travel. I'm just capturing moments in time. And the built-in LUTs from Lumix are great. I love the ones I've built and added to the camera. You can go to the Lumix Lab app, look at the community of creators who have built LUTs to share with us as well. And I have tons of LUTs on my camera that is very easy to go to the one that I think is going to be most suitable for majority of the pictures I'll be capturing when I'm out in whatever environment I'm in. And most of the photos you saw in the highlight reel were taken straight out of camera or with minimal edits using the Lumix Lab app only afterwards. So that ease of use, or when it comes to, hey, I'm taking photos, I'm capturing these moments in time of my vacation, and I want to share them with my friends, with my family, or on social media, having those JPEGs straight out of camera I can just post without tweaking has been great. It's been nice. I'll say it's low stress. It is low stress, but it's less you have to worry about. I don't have to, download everything to my computer, go to Lightroom, find the raw photos, edit them a little bit, make my in-house preset for that batch, and then apply it to all and tweak. Everything I get out of, the Lumix Lab app or straight out of camera has been phenomenal. And even though it's small, it's compact, I still shoot in RAW because you never know when you may capture that one moment where you really want to play with it a little bit more. So I still do, shoot RAW and JPEG, but generally speaking, most of the stuff I do is straight out of camera. And it's still full frame, which is like perk number 3 for everyday camera. It's 26mm. Yeah, whatever it is, I forget off the top of my head. I'll post it on the screen if I'm wrong here, but it's still high enough quality. When I have taken photos afterwards and I've printed them out, 8x10, framed them, they look great on the wall. They make good gifts for the holidays. I've sent stuff to friends, to family, and it's great quality. And it's nice when you go there and you see that, oh, hey, they actually hung that up. Right? They like that photo. Yay. Which is a perk of it being portable. I get to capture those spontaneous, intimate moments, right, in my life or their lives as well. And they all know I take pictures, so it's not like I'm being a complete creeper. It's my family most of the time. They're like, oh, did you bring your camera? Great. Because they want me to capture those moments. So yay, which is good. So let's talk about how I use this camera and why I may not recommend it as a everyday camera moving forward here. So I purchased this camera knowing its limitations. I knew that it did not have a viewfinder, optical, or electric. And generally speaking, using the screen has not been an issue for me. The rear screen, is bright enough where it's never really been an issue. I live in North Carolina. It's summertime here. And even at the beach, has there been a couple of times where it's been like dimmer than I would have liked? Yes, maybe if it could have been a little bit brighter, but generally speaking, it's never caused me to miss the photo that I want to take because it's not bright enough. It's been good enough for that. I knew it had an electronic shutter. I knew it was not mechanical. Not a big deal for me as well. For the types of photos I'm taking, rolling shutter has never really been an issue. I'm not taking pictures of cars moving or anything like that where I might get some of that rolling shutter. For the stills that I take of like dogs or the birds or whatever it is, parks that I travel to, mountains that I'm looking at, the electronic shutter has been fine. It's been more than good enough for me. I do understand though that may be a disqualifier for some folks, and I also knew it had a code shoe. Not a big deal for me as well. Some folks, you may want a flash. That could be an hindrance. I get that. You want to, hot shoe the mic because it's a great video camera, great video specs. I understand that potentially being a limitation or just qualifier for some folks as well. But that's not actually why I would not recommend this camera. The reason why I'm hesitant to do so these days is an issue I've been having with the camera recently. And let's talk about how I have this camera set up. So like I said, I used the 26mm f8 majority of the time. But there were also two other lenses I got for the camera. I got the 50mm for like $150 brand new, got a steel on it, great lens, a little bit front heavy when it comes to the size of the camera. So I could imagine if you had like some of the longer lenses or bigger lenses, it may not be the most comfortable setup to hold, but the 50mm was fine. I also got the 18 to 40 millimeter lens for the camera as well. But like I said, I almost always use the 26mm f8 focal lens because it's small, it's compact. So I don't have to worry about changing my aperture because it's set what it is. It is manual focus, so I do use the ring there to fine tune. I'd have ISO set to a custom range for that session or for the day, the environment I'd be shooting in. And then I'd use the real knob to adjust the shutter speed. And that's a really comfortable setup. Adjust lens and then back thumb, gripping the camera to fine tune the shutter speed that I would want. It was a great way to use that camera. It became second nature to me essentially, to the point where depending on what I was shooting at, focal lens f8, you have a bit of leeway there for what's in focus. I could just kind of one-hand it, sometimes. But the past couple of weeks, the back wheel has been, I don't know if sticky is the right term, but it's been not working properly. There'd be times I'd go to adjust the shutter speed and it just wouldn't register that it was being turned. So I turned the camera off, I turned the camera on, and usually that would fix it. But there were numerous times over the past several weeks where because of that, I have missed the photo that I've wanted to take. Which is frustrating. It's not like I'm taking it for client work where I really need to get that, photo or else, the job is ruined. But there have still been moments in my life where I wish I captured it on camera, and I have not because of that rear rear wheel issue. For some reason, that is a tongue twister for me right now, so apologies. So I did some research online, and I saw a couple other folks who were having a similar issue as me. And I know I could have adjusted the other reel up top to do the shutter speed, but for how I hold the camera, that just would have, that's not it. That's not how I want to use it. It's been frustrating for me to the point where I have shipped it off for repair. And once I get it back, I'm starting to second guess if it is a camera that I am going to keep or if I'm going to get it fixed and then sell it. Because while I use this camera every day, I am not rough with my gear, generally speaking. I baby it. My sling that I put it in is padded. If I put it in my fanny pack, I have the inserts, foam inserts I will use to put in there to protect the camera. I almost never, like I said, put it in my pocket, though I could if I wanted to. It's almost never like I'm not, walking briskly and it's on a sling, and it's bouncing off my side. I take good care of my gear because it is an investment. And it is not the most expensive camera. Right? I got it right around $1,600 with the lens, which is not the most expensive piece of camera gear, right? Sony's dropping the RX whatever it is for like $5,100, which blows my mind, but it is a compact full frame camera as well, but with a fixed lens. And it's not the cheapest camera out there either. But that's still a good chunk of change, especially for somebody like me, right? I am, I don't have thousands of dollars to dump into photo gear. It's not my primary source of income. I am a beginner. I'm a hobbyist. And it's something that I spend my, hard-earned money from my day job towards. And I want to get that good return on investment. And is 8 months of daily use, should that be too much for a camera? And I feel like the answer to that is no, it shouldn't. Now, I know there are a lot of folks who've used this camera and have not had that issue. But I am not the only one from what it looks like. And I have a hard time telling friends who are getting into photography these days, or family members who are like, hey, I want something nicer than my iPhone to, take pictures of. I'm getting back into a more, I don't want to say analog way of living. I'm not living the film life yet, right? But I like having the camera separate from my smartphone. I have a flip phone that I use, right, as my daily phone for most stuff these days again, because it's just nice to be disconnected from social media during the day, to not, get those notifications. It's nice to have T9 again. I'm not going to lie. I've missed T9. But when I am making meaningful choices on the equipment that I am carrying with me every day, something that breaks after 8 months of daily use, that I'm not beating to the ground, I'm not overusing it, I don't know. It's just hard for me to be like, you should use this camera, because that is frustrating for me. And I'm not the only one. So am I going to say this is a bad camera? No. I think even if, it doesn't get fixed, they're like, oh, we can't fix this. Well, if warranty, whatever it goes on, we'll cover that bridge when I get there. Have I gotten, the $1,600 out of it? Honestly, I probably have. But it'd be really disappointing if that's all I got out of it so far. So I'm not going to say don't get it. I think I have, not the normal issues. I just know I'm not the only one. And that is something I want to be upfront about. So can I recommend it as a, slice of life camera? Generally speaking, I think most people will buy it and be happy with it. I think most people are not going to use it every single day. They may not, right? They may just have it set to auto all the time. And that rear, wheel issue is not going to be an issue for them. If you're a full auto, just every day, capture the moment, you don't care about, all those other things, and you want something that you can grow with a little bit, yeah, the S9 is going to be great. I love the camera. Like I said, I love the 26 millimeter lens that I got for it as well. But right now I have reservations about recommending it due to that issue I have. So we'll see what happens if I can get it fixed. I'll hear from them hopefully in a day or two. It's in the mail. And yeah, I know that's my ramble, right? Good camera. Love the photos I've taken with it. Understand the limitations it have, but I have had issues with it recently that's been frustrating for me. So yeah, if you're still here, hey, what's going on? Drop a comment below. Let me know the first piece of camera gear that's broke on you. Maybe you dropped the lens, you dropped a camera, you're in the middle of a photo shoot and it just died, it froze up on you. I don't know. But consider liking the video, subscribing to the channel for more rambles. We're at 20 subscribers already, so y'all are all the real MVPs. Thank you for joining me on this journey of these rambles. But I plan to grow as a photographer, and hopefully along the way I will share tips and tricks that I learned that may be useful for you as well, even if it's a rambling long-term review of gear that I have. So thanks for stopping by, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Love you, bye. Peace out. This is where I'll play some lo-fi and, put the photos that look nice on the screen. Maybe I'll write some music. We'll see. Great.